Are you okay? Alistair told me you got away from the vampire attack unharmed, but I know things can still harm us even if they don't physically. So please tell me honestly, how are you feeling? I'm glad to hear that overall you're all right. I've been worried nonstop. If I had known those pathetic vampires were going to attack like that. I'm sorry you've gotten caught up in all of this. I never would have let you be in danger like that. I'm okay. I'm not sure how much has been explained to you, but during the ceremony, most of my pack had been drinking the wine that the vampires lace with wolfsbane. For lycanthropes, wolfsbane loosens the grip we have over our instincts. It was, well, far from easy, but by working together, Roddy and I were able to subdue all the affected members of both packs before anybody could do some permanent damage. You don't know how glad I am that Alistair and Cliff were able to keep you safe. And before the ritual, I promised myself that I'd tell you something I've been holding back. I've thought a lot about how to say this to you. And I decided I needed to start with that, with just how much I think. I always try to think things through as much as I can. It's something I was taught growing up, as a way to keep my impulses in check. If I go over things in my head several times before I say them, I know I'll be saying the right thing. And if I consider every aspect of a decision before I act on it, I know then I won't do something I regret. I never wanted to be anything else but someone who could take care of those around me, so I committed myself to making sure I could control myself, to be the leader my pack deserved, just like my mom. But my mom, the reason she stepped down as leader was because she lost control. It was during a shift. Our pack, like most others, spend the full moons together in a forest on pack territory. The full moon allows us to shift fully into our wolf form. I wish there was some way I could share the feeling with you. Being in that form, it's nothing a human body can experience. It's wild and freeing and exhilarating. You're connected to yourself, to your emotions and instincts in such a raw and visceral way. Which is why, if a lycanthrope isn't careful, they can lose themselves. And when that happens, it's the pack leader who has the responsibility of making sure the least amount of harm is done. It's what the ceremony tests prospective leaders on. I'll have to ask you not to publish this secret. It's one I trust you with. It's one we all trust you with. I asked Alistair and Roddy, Cliff as well, if they all felt the same as I do, that you're a human who can be trusted with werewolf secrets. And we all agreed that you've proven that that's exactly who you are. The ceremony has to take place during a particularly strong lunar phase. For my ceremony, it was during what many humans call the Hunter's Moon. The effect of our shift is even stronger, meaning it's harder than normal to control oneself. Traditionally, the pack leader who will be replaced oversees it in case the prospective new leader can't control themselves, as someone still needs to be able to look after the other wolves. Since my mom had to step down, Roddy was asked to come play that role. And that's why I was so ready to agree when he asked me to talk the day of. But instead, my mother had put him up to that final test. Which I understand after I'll stop avoiding it. When my mother lost control, she attacked another member of our pack. I need you to understand just how out of character this was for her. You haven't met her yet, much to her annoyance. She was the one who agreed to the Werewolf Human Council's proposition of having a writer come interview the pack leader of Clan Phobos. And now, after she's heard about you from me, let's just say her intrigue has grown in intensity. But when you meet her, you'll see that she's covered in scars. She has no shame in them. Each one of them she's earned by breaking up fights between pack members who've lost control, or subduing pack members who went temporarily feral and saw her as an enemy. But not once did she ever leave a scar on any of them, which is amazing, really, that even while being fully shifted and actively attacked, she kept control and did as little harm as possible. But during a full moon, our pack was running in the woods. All of our land is fenced to avoid humans wandering in on accident, but that doesn't deter some hunters. One of them must have gotten onto pack land without anyone noticing. They laid down a clawed spring trap and covered it in leaves. My father, even for an Omega, always had a weak sense of smell. He didn't detect it. He cried out in pain, and while my mom came running, someone else in the pack got there first. This pack member was one who had trouble keeping control several times in the past. So when my mom saw them next to her injured mate, crying out in pain and covered in blood, her instincts took over. She attacked, with just enough control not to go for the throat. Since I also heard my father, Celesterra and I got there soon after, and together, we were able to subdue her and tend to my father and the pack member. Both have healed since then, and are doing well. But after that, she of course couldn't lead anymore, and she knew it. I know this seems like a drawn-out way to get to what I'm saying, but if you'll put up with me a little bit longer, I promise it's all important. When I asked her about it after, she said she didn't regret it. Of course she wished it hadn't happened, that she hadn't hurt a member of her own pack. But she couldn't bring herself to regret it, not when she thought her mate was about to die. And I'll be honest, I didn't quite understand that. But when the vampires attacked during the ceremony, and I knew you were somewhere nearby, in harm's way, I understood perfectly what she meant. You've always made it hard for me not to just feel, ever since our first meeting, or I couldn't just stick to what I meant to say. I couldn't keep to my plan of treating you coldly in the hopes that you'd leave on your own. I felt bad right away about how I treated you. I started to question my view towards humans, and if everything I felt towards you all was deserved, or my own unexamined prejudice. Before I met you, I had already decided how I was going to feel about you. I was going to stay distant, answer the bare minimum, and get your interviews over with so I could focus on what actually mattered, leading my pack. You were going to be nothing but an annoyance I put up with at my mother's request. But you've proved me so wrong. You're intelligent, empathetic, kind, and passionate. You're not afraid to be blunt when it's deserved, or stand up for what you know is right. You've managed to be curious and respectful at the same time, seeking knowledge without it coming at a cost for others. You've been so supportive and encouraging. You came to me at a time in my life where I felt so out of control, so caught off guard and unprepared. I've been training my whole life to take over the position of pack leader from my mother, but I never expected it to come so soon, or for her to be stepping down for any other reason beside age. I felt like I wasn't good enough, no matter how hard I tried. But around you, I felt like I just had to be. That trying to act any certain besides what I felt. Look at me, yet again struggling for words around you. I think I like it. Just like how I think I like... No, I know for certain that I like you. So I'm here, asking you as Jay, leader of the Phobos Pack, if I may have your permission to court you as my partner. Thank you. I promise I'll do everything I can to be the man you deserve. I didn't mean to half-shift. The wagging tail is a bit embarrassing. But you agreeing does make me happy, so I guess there's no benefit to hiding it. I want to be more honest with my emotions around you, so... Could I kiss you? I promise I won't let my fangs nick you. Wow. I've been wanting to do that ever since I first saw you in my jacket. Speaking of, here. If you're all right with it, I'd like to give you my hoodie to wear, so others know we're courting. Or, wait, humans call it dating, don't they? My mom is really going to want to meet you now. But before that, I'd like to take you out on our first date. Wherever you'd like us to go, I'll make it happen. That goes for not only this first date, but all the ones that follow. For as long as you'll have me, I'm yours. I'm so happy we ended up like this. This will be my final audio, but if you'd like more from Anagomi, please be sure to subscribe. For adult-only age-gated Anagomi content, there's patreon.com/Anagomi. For any audio custom to what you want, fill out the form found at anagomi.com/commissions. For patrons, there's $50 off an audio. You could commission more audios with me or any other character. I'll have to return back to leading my pack, but before I go, I want to thank you for listening. It's been wonderful to have this journey together, and I hope you tune in for whatever original character comes next. Thank you.